Good evening, Dr. Say.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just speaking with Miss Pachi. She's gonna send us the last four digits of phone numbers. So that's we're gonna be raffling and let's save the chat because we'll just say like the two raffles are, these numbers, and then I'll have to or Miss Pa and I will you know, get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all these codes, and now we don't even.
Okay, let me just I'll set it now. I'm getting it now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I will
Okay.
email.
Okay. Thank you, and you'll email it to both of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who did it?
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry I interrupted your talk with your mom. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye bye. Hello, Iam. How are you?
Hey, Dr. Sager, doing good. How about you guys?
We are good. I think we're all set. Um, we have that text brigade that, or if we need to, to just text each other, you know, you have mine, right, Ian?
I
Angelo
do.
has mine now. Okay.
Gotcha.
And I have yours. Let's just make sure. Yep, I have.
Dr. Sager, did we have confirmation from Jem Inai?
Yeah, she remember she wasn't able to join um at the run through.
Okay.
Um she and Jessa, who's doing the prayer, um were not able to join. One of them was sick, one was driving from work. But I find out with these things there has to be a backup all the time.
Yeah.
You never know who's actually gonna be here. So and I don't see them yet. I emailed everyone that we're gonna be we should be here at 8:30, and it's 8:33 now. You know what? In the event that Jessa doesn't show up, I'll do the prayer.
Okay.
Okay.
Copy.
And we're not gonna let the Angelo, is it possible to send a message on the and let them know that at the all attendees will be let in at 5 of 9? Or you know what? Let me try to. I think there's a way to chat. There's a meeting room and there is a waiting room. Okay. I'm just gonna text them, message them.
May gabi, May gabi. Kamusta? I had a great time in Tennessee last time.
To sa Nashville.
Yes. For the raffle, Angelo,
Yes.
you will be the one to do the wheels, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be two raffle, yung participant tonight at saka yung sa sa survey.
Okay.
Mhm.
$25 Amazon gift cards, right?
Yes.
Two
And
wheels.
we have to make sure that the names and telephone numbers will be on the chat
Okay.
box, because Okay, so I texted the ones in the waiting area.
Okay.
So that's that. Let me just check my email. Let me.
Dr. Sager, if it's okay with you, I prepared like a 1 or 2 minutes na parang ad lib at the very start as
Aha,
people are joining in. I don't think
aha.
people will join at on time, so if that's okay with you.
Yes, that should be. What will you say?
Uh, it's like welcoming them, and I think one of the things there is like I'll have them type in a chat box their PNAA chapter or state, and
Aha,
one word that describes how was their day.
aha. Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
Okay, so she hasn't. Angelo, she has the last 4 digits now.
Okay. Where can I see it po?
Sa
Sa email.
email.
Okay. Okay po.
Nasa email.
Okay po.
Yeah, let's see. One has 15. These are the mentees. Let me.
Hmm.
Do you see it?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So you have that. Hello, Ivy.
Speaker.
Um,
I'm on the P3 webinar. Did I get the wrong link?
uh, it is open. Can you see us? Angelo, Iam, and I are in.
No,
She's in the waiting room po.
But please she's our
Okay.
speaker.
Siya. She's in po.
Sorry.
Okay. Wonderful.
Sorry,
Okay.
because we don't want to let the other people, the attendees,
She's
come.
in.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that's done. We have all of them, 13 and 15. Angelo, I have both of them. And did you get everyone?
Yeah, I have
13 mentees and
15
14.
mentors.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
Opo.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome po. 504,
Okay. So
7.
let me
Can you
close
hear
this.
me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Let me text. So we have your slide. Angelo is ready to run it if yours is, as a backup.
Okay. I have, would you be able to allow me as the host, Angelo?
Yeah.
So that I can
Co-host. It will be co-host.
host. Yeah, a
Okay,
co-host
sure.
so that I
Yeah,
can run the
yeah,
slides.
I just made you a co-host. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
let me
did you
just
make me co-host also?
Yes po.
Okay. And Iam too? Because
Sure.
we
Hold on.
we wanted to help you in terms of, letting people in,
Yeah.
if you can.
We're all good. I have 3 co-hosts now.
Okay.
Okay.
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you,
You're
Angelo.
welcome po.
I don't see Edmond yet. Um, Ivy, you have that text brigade. Can you please just say where that you, Iam, and Angelo are in, and if they could
All
come
right.
in too.
Okay. Dr. Sager, I'm going to have you for me, Dr. Sager.
Yeah, you did it already.
Yeah, and then because EM, I and EM, because it's more of like a tongue twister.
That's right.
Sager and EM, EM, and EM.
And
All right.
you know what? Let's include Jem Inay.
Okay. You know what, ate? Ano pa, ano ka pa si Jem?
Oo. Kasi she and Jessa were not able to attend the run through
Are on.
as you know. One of them was sick and the other one was driving from work. And
Okay.
then I said to both of them, I emailed them saying, that was fine, but that please come in at 8:30 today.
Okay. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. And okay, good. Angelo, should Ivy be a little more up or in terms of her face or a little closer?
Oh, ganito pa?
Um, para mas malapit. And let me get a new background. The P3. I can find it.
Yeah. I don't have a P3 background, but I have my website that I made at the VA.
Mhm.
So
I think
that's
it's
going.
very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this one doesn't even let me look at some background. Let's see.
I'm waiting for Jem. And we are EM is here. So, and also Edmund. So, give me a minute. I'm just going to turn this on.
How come? Angelo, how come it doesn't give me a choice to change my background? It only has the wide vision camera, blur my background, and auto frame my,
Should be in the video settings at the very bottom po.
okay, let's just, I'm used to like seeing, like I could change it. But the video setting only says like rotate 90. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be inside. Baliktad. You know what? I'm just gonna be content with my background. Let's see. Clean naman ang background ko.
Yes.
I'm just trying because I'm in the process of packing the house because we're gonna close on it next week. But I don't see anything that I really need to erase.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be fine. I was gonna use the P3 one.
You're muted po.
That was Jessa. She's on the way home, like a minute before reaching home, and she's registered, she said, and she has the link. She's the one doing the prayer. Okay. Ivy, were you able to get Jem, or should I get her?
She has not responded po.
Okay. Ang backup natin is si Iyam. He'll introduce you if Jem is not here.
Apa. Apa.
Yeah.
Would you like me to call Edmond po, or do you want me to
Oo,
call?
pakitawag mo na because I'm gonna call Jem.
Apa.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hello, Jem. It's Dr. Sagar. Period. Are you calling in to introduce Dr. Passes? Do you have the link? Did you register?
Edmond is here. I'm gonna let him in.
Yeah, please let if Jem Inay is in the waiting room, let her
Okay.
in.
Is in.
Jessa Duki
Nandyan siya, ate.
and Edmond. Oh, there he is. Hello, Edmond.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon talaga?
Or good evening na ba?
He's in Colorado.
Ready ka na, partner? Ready ka na?
Let's go.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw your phone. You're calling me, but I'm on. I'm prepared. I'm just preparing.
Okay. Okay.
Parang baba ng aking camera. Okay.
Parang layo-layo ko, no? Hindi naman.
Kaya nga ako din halted.
Hello. Okay,
Good
we let
evening,
you in.
everyone.
Please let Jessa Duque come in, Angelo. Thank you. Hi, Jem. How are you?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Jessa, we're letting you in.
Hi, Jem.
Hello, mentor.
Hi.
Hello po.
And there's Jessa. Oh, that's great. And sorry, I left you a voicemail, Jem.
Oh,
Just
that was you,
disregard.
Dr. Sager?
Yes, that was me.
Sorry, I
Only
saw it's New York, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know that number. Okay, I'm gonna
I
say.
know. Well, I'm the same way, and my phone doesn't even ring if it's
Ah,
not
yeah.
if the person is not among my contact. There's
So
just
914-482, right? Sorry, that's
yes.
yours.
Uh,
I'm gonna save you.
so, Jessa, can you hear us?
Yes po.
Okay, and we could hear you fine. And Jem, we could hear. Um, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you,
Okay,
Dr.
that's
Sager.
great. So I guess, and we heard Edmond. Okay. So we're all set. We're gonna let people come in at like 5 of 9.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Please also announce that there is no pulong tonight after the webinar. It will be after the May 27th webinar. If they have any questions, they could send it through the Google Classroom, or they could email me or Dr. Remigio if they don't want it like in public. Any questions from anyone?
It's 7:55. Shall we open?
8:55? Yes.
Yeah,
Dr.
8:55.
Sager, we
Yes.
got confirmation from Dr. Saria, right?
Yes. You know what? If yeah, we have confirmation from him, and I sent the program to everyone, but as backup, if let me see if Dr. Birion is as a backup. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. While we allow a few more moments for our colleagues, mentors, and mentees to join us, I would like to invite everyone to begin settling in. Perhaps adjust your audio, make sure your microphones are muted, and take a deep breath after possibly a very long day. And prepare to enter a space of learning, mentorship, and professional inspiration. So, whether you're joining from a night shift break, just arriving home from work, or tuning in your personal time, we truly appreciate your presence. If you feel comfortable, we invite you to type in the chat box your PNAA chapter or state, and probably one word that describes how was your day. You know, it's always powerful to see how widespread and connected our PNAA community truly is. So, where's everyone coming from? Can you type in a chat box what state or what PNAA chapter do you belong? We're just waiting for a few more people to join us as we get started. Well, hi, Jay from San Diego, California. There you go. I can already see participants joining us from different states, from PNA New York, from PNA Colorado. We've got our speaker from Maryland, even from New England is joining us. How was your guys' day? Was it a good day? Well, it will be a very good night tonight. Thank you for being here in this webinar, and we are about to get started. This is truly a gathering of Filipino nursing excellence. And as we're about to start our webinar, we would like to share a few quick reminders for our virtual audience. First, please ensure that your microphones are muted to minimize background noise and allow our speakers to be heard clearly. Second, we kindly ask that you reserve your questions for the Q&A segment later in the session. If a question comes to mind, feel free to type it in the chat box. Our moderator will be monitoring and compiling your questions. And third, there will be no pulong session after this webinar. Our first pulong will be on the webinar on May. If you do have questions, please feel free to email or post it in our Google Classroom for the P3. And finally, sit back, stay engaged, and enjoy as you learn in this webinar. Again, welcome everyone. We're very glad to have you here tonight. My name is Iam Palgan, your Master of Ceremony from PNA San Antonio, and I'm truly grateful to journey with you in this meaningful space of learning and mentorship. This webinar is brought to you by the Philippine Nurses Association of America, Patnubay sa Pagtatagumpay Program, or P3. Tonight's webinar entitled When Rubber Meets the Road, Breaking Traditions on the Path to Healthcare Executive Management. This speaks directly to many of us who are navigating professional growth while balancing culture, expectations, and evolving leadership roles. We have invited a guest speaker who brings a powerful perspective on leadership, one that challenges traditions, inspires courage, and prepares us for the real demands of healthcare executive management. So tonight is more than just a webinar. It is a gathering of purpose, and it is a reminder to all of us that professional development is not simply a destination, it is a responsibility we grow into. To formally begin our program, may I invite everyone to center ourselves in gratitude and reflection. Please join me as we welcome Jessa May Duque, a P3 mentee from PNA Greater St. Louis, who will lead us in the opening prayer. Jessa, the virtual stage is yours.
Everyone, let us begin this program with a moment of reflection. Gracious and loving Father, we come together today for this opportunity to learn, connect, and grow. As we begin this webinar, we ask that you open our minds to new knowledge and perspectives. Guide us as we embrace change and innovation while keeping our values and traditions strong. Empower us to move forward with purpose and vision as we translate these new insights into our current practice. Strengthen us so that we may serve with greater compassion, integrity, and excellence, serving not only ourselves, but also our patients, our communities, and one another. Bless the speakers and organizers of this gathering. We pray that this webinar will be meaningful and inspiring for all. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Jessa, for the beautiful and grounding prayer. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce a leader whose vision continues to elevate Filipino-American nurses nationwide. He may be in the chat box, but please join me in welcoming our current PNAA president and P3 advisor, who will share his message with us this evening. With a virtual round of applause, we are honored to have you here, Dr. Marlon Garzo Saria. Dr. Saria? I think we're still waiting for Dr. Saria to connect with us. But how about let's hear a message on his behalf. We'll have Dr. Saria speak later on. We'll have our chair for P3, Dr. Priscilla Sager, to share a few words for us. Dr. Sager, the stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first webinar of the largest cohort of the Patnubay sa Pagtatagumpay mentoring program. Like Dr. Palgan was saying before, we will have a powerful speaker tonight who would look at the culture, the Filipino culture, and sometimes setting us back and becoming powerful leaders on par with other nurses. And P3 is one of the wonderful programs of PNAA. We are in our third cohort, and it is the largest with 38 pairs of mentors and mentees. And I am very honored to be leading this program and supported by 15 leaders from PNAA. And we thank all our mentees for entrusting us in moving their careers forward. And we thank the mentors for guiding the new generation of Filipino nursing leaders. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Sager, for your words and steadfast commitment to mentorship and professional development. Thank you for leading P3, and we're very glad to hear from you tonight. Our next segment brings us to one of the highlights of tonight's program, the introduction of our distinguished guest speaker. To do the honors, please welcome Jem Inay, President of PNA New Jersey, Bergen, Passaic, and a P3 mentee. Jem, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. I am honored to introduce my mentor, Dr. Pasis. So Dr. Pasis leads initiatives to reduce preventable harm and foster a culture of safety for nearly 14,000 employees across 6 facilities, serving over 700,000 veterans in Maryland, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. She designed programs such as the HRO University, the Safety Story, Strong and Promising Practices Portal, and the Coin of Excellence Award program. These efforts integrated patient safety with continuous process improvement, increased safety reporting, and improved the close call to adverse event ratio. Dr. Pasis's leadership has elevated standards within the Veterans Health Administration, and her programs serve as a model for high reliability. She was selected among 18 network HRO officers by the VHA's Undersecretary of Health to serve as the inaugural chair of the National VHA VISN HRO Advisory Board. She led the launch of high reliability initiatives across 23 National Specialty Care Program offices. As a faculty advisor at the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing DNP Executive and Advanced Practice Programs, she mentors future nurse leaders and helps them publish scholarly work. Dr. Pasis has received numerous honors and certifications, including fellowships in the American College of Healthcare Executives and the American Academy of Nursing. She holds credentials as a professional of healthcare quality, board certified nurse executive, and certified nurse educator, and Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. Her academic credentials include a BSN from Central Philippine University, an MSN and MHA from the University of Phoenix, and a DNP executive with a postmaster's certificate in nursing education from the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing. She was recently accepted into Harvard Medical School's Safety, Quality, Informatics, and Leadership program. She also completed executive training through the VHA Healthcare Leadership Development Program. Dr. Pasis's ongoing commitment drives measurable transformation in healthcare safety and quality for veterans and the professionals who serve them. Her career exemplifies purposeful leadership, growth, and the highest standards. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Ivy Pasis. Thank you.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Jam. I really appreciate that. And I would like to, before I proceed with my presentation, I would like to recognize my partner tonight, Edmund Ragacello. Did I pronounce your last name, Edmund, correctly?
You did correctly, Dr. Press.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I can share my screen if you would like me to start the presentation. And can you see my screen okay? Wonderful, wonderful. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me and the rest of our PNAA executive leaders for this session. I have used the phrase, where the rubber meets the road, twice this month in my presentations. Maybe I love the phrase of it. One was when I presented at the American College of Healthcare Executives, and now for this session, it describes the inflection point of reframing long-held Filipino traditions into practice. So our culture is your leadership advantage. I feel that it is. Filipino values such as humility, collectivism, and deep rational trust from the foundation of strong executive presence. Successful leaders lead through their identity. However, this identity must be paired with action. So this approach focuses on practical strategies you can apply as soon as possible to advance your leadership. In healthcare, when stakes are high, leaders must communicate clearly, manage conflict confidently, and influence across teams and disciplines. So these soft skills are essential. And at the core, the strengths you already possess are your values, your story, and your way of connecting. And these can be translated into behaviors recognized and rewarded at the executive level. So you really have what it takes. This is about making yourself visible. So let's talk about what the data tells us, because the numbers are impossible to ignore. So women hold roughly 29% of C-suite roles across corporate America. So women of color, just 6%. And Asian Americans, they said, make up only 1.4% of Fortune 500 CEOs. And this is not a pipeline problem, it is a systemic one. In healthcare, where women make up the majority of the workforce, they hold only 1/3 of the executive roles, and the gaps are even wider for women of color and immigrant professionals. And I want you to really hear this one clearly. Underrepresentation is not your shortcoming. It is a systemic challenge, and it requires a collective response. Another thing is your ambition. You have to think about it as it's legitimate, and your experience is valuable. And your path to the executive table is possible, but it takes intentional strategy with the right mentors. And I'm really glad that we are doing this with P3 and sponsorship who will advocate for you. These are the individuals who's going to speak for you when you are not in the room. The system rewards visibility and assertive communication and strategic risk taking. Our work is to embrace those behaviors in ways that stay true to who we are. That is exactly why this conversation matters and why it starts right now. And before we proceed, I would like to turn this over to Edmund, who's going to do our poll for us. Edmund.
All right, guys. Okay, so we have a poll right here. So we just wanted to know what your insights or comments about this question. Is there a Filipino trait that you think has made things harder for you or it still feels challenging? So we have a couple of options in there. Letter A, hiya. B, pakikisama. Letter C, bayanihan. Letter D, Filipino time. E, onion skinned. F, crab mentality. G is inggit. H, bahala na. And I is utang na loob. So please give your answers. You could put it in the chat group or the chat page that we have, and then we'll see how we all feel about this behavior or challenging barriers for us. All right, we see a lot of answers coming through. We get letter G, letter A, D, and someone answered 4. So that's good. I bet, it's not only signal answer that you could relate to this. So keep going. So later on, I'll be creating the tally, and let's see how we all feel about this one.
Thank
Good
you
job, guys. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Edmund. And I think you're going to tally what will be our top 5.
I will, yeah. So later on, as you guys finished answering and giving your thoughts, then I'll be doing the tally. Yeah, I'll just be doing the top 5 for these challenging behaviors or culture that we have.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Edmund. Okay, so let's proceed with our presentation. So we are talking about glass ceilings, right? For Asians, for the benefit of us being Filipinos, I'm going to have it compared to a bamboo ceiling. So for us, although for Asian Americans, particularly for us, as healthcare professionals, we are among the fastest growing and best educated and highest earning groups in the US. But we continue to face the bamboo ceiling, similarly to the glass ceiling experienced by women and many minorities in this country. This barrier limits advancement regardless of competence and dedication. And as a result, there is a leadership gap that does not reflect the group's true potential. In many organizations, they aim to develop leaders, yet few are successful. So your organization may be losing top talent as high potential employees. They face burnout, or they leave, or become really disengaged. And this is not due to the lack of talent in your pool, but rather a lack of structure, the mentorship, and alignment. Organizations often mistake strong performance for leadership potential, promoting technical experts without preparing them for leadership responsibilities because it's convenient. They're already in the position, so they're just going to assume leadership, the presume leadership. So these are emotional intelligence also that are lacking in the presumed leadership, the strategic thinking, and as well as the people development. So these leads to ongoing talent loss. And unless these gaps are addressed, hiring, training, and retention efforts will not succeed. The talents exist. The real question is whether we are fostering the right environment for it to thrive. So the culture shapes how we lead in healthcare, and that matters more than ever. Many of us carry deeply ingrained habits, deferring to authority because it is a form of respect, keeping the peace because we don't want to feel that we cross them, staying silent in the room because it's really convenient. But these aren't flaws. They reflect values of respect, as what I've said, harmony and community. And those values are genuine leadership strengths. They build trust, loyalty, and cohesion in teams. But here's the tension. So in our modern healthcare here in this country, it really demands something more. So now in your organization, in my organization, it really requires data-driven decisions. It requires cross-functional collaboration, the confidence to speak up, the challenging of the status quo, and how we are leading our teams proactively, not just reactively. When we hold too tightly to tradition, we risk becoming invisible in leadership pipelines, not because we lack the capability and the capacity, but because we haven't adapted how we show up. The goal isn't to abandon who we are, it's to evolve how we lead, bringing our cultural gifts forward while building the behaviors that today's healthcare environment requires. So, modern healthcare, we've talked about this in the previous slide. So, leadership requires not only strong performance, but also demonstrating strategic impact. So, the key executive competencies such as collaboration, adaptability, accountability, and data driven thinking are already part of our culture. So, pakikisama reflects collaboration and our strong sense of responsibility, and that thing demonstrates reliability. We consistently embody these values. The difference lies in how we demonstrate those qualities. So, for example, effective leaders communicate their impact and align their work with organizational goals. They ensure their contributions are visible. Consider this slide your executive readiness checklist. It highlights strengths you already possess and encourages you to express them with greater intention. So the key word here is intention. Leadership doesn't have to be loud, but it must be visible. So I hope you like my slide right here. Consider that the traits we are often encouraged to minimize may in fact be our greatest leadership strength. For example, as Filipino professionals, we see this one in our workplace, that we embody a rich cultural identity. So for example, for hiya, pakikisama, bayanihan, and bahala na, and everything else in this picture, these are not liabilities, but deeply human values that when applied intentionally become powerful leadership tools. The key is learning how to translate them into effective practice. For example, hiya is often misinterpreted as timidity, but it reflects a deep awareness of how our words and actions impact others. It's how we consider others that is what I think is really unique for Filipinos, because we just don't blurt out what we want to say, but we consider feelings. And what would those words impact the other person? In leadership, this becomes respectful clarity, the ability to communicate directly and honestly while maintaining diplomacy. This also represents emotional intelligence as its highest level. For pakikisama, our instinct for harmony and belonging translates into strategic relationship building. The type of work that I am doing is something that I have achieved through pakikisama. This approach fosters trust, builds sponsorship, and creates influence across teams and departments. Cross-functional collaboration, as I term it in my interviews. Bayanihan, or collective spirit, exemplifies the integrative leadership that modern organizations seek. It involves breaking down silos, uniting people around a shared mission, and leading collaboratively from within the group. So even traits we are taught to be ashamed of can hold hidden powers. When reframed, crab mentality becomes competitive resilience, a persistent drive for self-improvement. Inget transforms into inspired ambition. I want that, motivating us to reach higher rather than diminish others. So here's the core idea I want you to hold onto. Advancement doesn't require assimilation, it requires alignment. So you do not need to become someone else to lead effectively. Instead, lead with greater intention, visibility, and strategy while remaining true to yourself. Reflect on this question. So, which cultural trait will you choose to reframe and intentionally practice starting today? And I want you to hold on to that. So this visual design, I created this where it supports recall and creates a shared language from ongoing reference. To apply this, consider transformational pairs. On one side are common barriers, and on the other are the behaviors that drive progress. So for instance, avoiding conflict can shift to engaging in constructive dialogue and addressing risks early to keep our organization safe and the population of patients we serve. Silence can become executive presence by contributing thoughtfully at key moments. What I've learned in my career was it used to be that I would be the first one to speak. Now I would be the last one to speak because I want to hear all of the perspectives inside a room. Over adaptation may transition to setting healthy boundaries, which protects your focus and authority. Deference can evolve into courageous, data-driven leadership aligned with your mission. These pairs represent behavioral choice points. So consider which transition is most relevant to you at this time. And the arrows, as you can see on the slide, so you can see that between each pair, there you can highlight the change, and it is both possible and incremental. So in healthcare, These shifts occur daily in staff meetings. And I'm trying to jog your memory, in those staff meetings, the project updates and quality reviews. And barriers are only starting points. Leadership growth requires intentional, values driven behavior change. So I would like you to choose one transition to practice today. So those small, consistent changes can have significant impact, and this shared language supports our collective progress. So let's consider the leadership pipeline from bedside expertise to boardroom. So many begin with passion and skill in clinical roles and develop into effective team leaders. However, fewer transition into operational or strategic leadership. So this gap right here. So let me see if I can get my laser pointer right here. It's right here. Okay, let me disable this. Okay, so for this gap, you can see that this is kind of our choke point in the process. So for this gap, it's not solely about talent or performance. The advancement often depends on visibility, sponsorship, and taking on stretch assignments. So for example, those are things that challenge you, that is beyond your comfort zone. It will really demonstrate readiness for greater responsibility. So while mentors provide guidance and advice, sponsors actively advocate for you and help create new opportunities. So leading cross-functional projects or managing financial responsibilities, like fiscal, as they call in our organization, shows that you are prepared to influence beyond your immediate team. As you reflect today, consider your current position in this journey and identify the support you need to advance. With intentional action and strong advocates, each of us can continue progressing along the leadership pipeline. So many people overlook the difference between mentors and sponsors, and I think Dr. Sager said this very well during our first meeting. A mentor supports your development while sponsor advocates for you and creates new opportunities. Both are important, but if you must choose, ensure someone is actively promoting your advancement. So there is a 30, 60, 90 framework that supports this process. In the first 30 days, for example, you set your goals and build relationships. By day 60, you shadow leaders and take on new challenges, what I call the stretch assignments. By day 90, present your results and demonstrate your impact. This structure transforms intention into measurable growth. You do not have to navigate this process alone. So peer circles connect you with professionals facing similar challenges. And I think this is where we are right now tonight. These groups provide accountability. We share effective strategies and foster collective growth. Some communities offer long-term benefits that are difficult to achieve individually. So finally, track your progress, including stretch assignments, new roles, and your pace of advancement. And I would like you to do this one intentionally, again and again. The intention should be right there. It has to be purposeful and not for recognition. When you clearly see your progress, your advocates will as well measure your growth, take ownership of your path, and continue moving forward. So your cultural identity is not a barrier to leadership. It is your edge. And when paired with intentional growth and the courage to be visible, it becomes the foundation for reaching the highest levels. So leadership is a sum of who you are, how you grow, and the deliberate steps you take. So leave it one next step and commit to it. So I want to share with you my story. And I want to take this moment to walk you through my story and the journey that I have going to C-suite, and the meaning behind the milestones. So it starts with someone who saw my potential that I hadn't seen in myself, because I really want to stay at the bedside, take care of my patients. So my journey has not been about growth that came from uncomfortable places, moments of resilience, of reinvention, and of continuous learning. It's a story shaped by challenges that pushed me to think differently, and by successes that prove that what's possible when you stay committed to your end game. This story isn't just a timeline, it's a reflection of the road I traveled, the people I met along the way, the people who made me very uncomfortable, the people who made me feel that I am not good enough, but also those people who gave me a platform. And they have believed in me that I can move forward. So, as I walk you through all of these milestones, I want you to notice how it all connects. And I started with nothing more than a piece of yellow paper and an expectation with results to be delivered yesterday. I navigated the tensions of being who I am in a sea of C suite executives. And somewhere in that journey, the traditions I was told would limit me became a greatest gift. The very tools I use to uniquely lead and influence powerfully. Every lesson became a competency, and every competency continues to shape the work I do today. So ultimately, my story is a reminder that breaking the bamboo ceiling is never accidental. It comes from intention, consistency, and a willingness to evolve. Qualities that are core to who I am and to the work I show up every single day. So, as you can see, there's Wonder Woman. I was called like that. I was also called the force to be reckoned with. And this is not by chance, but by design. I've always believed that luck finds you when you're prepared. So I showed up ready for every opportunity that came my way. The affirmations I carry with me are rooted in brilliance, in owning your talent, and in refusing to let anyone else define your limits. So every single day, and at about a week ago, I had a very nice conversation with one of the Undersecretary of Health at the VA. She said, you have to act as if it is an interview every day. Yes, it is. So every single day is an opportunity to shape your world and the world that sees you. So you have to begin with that mindset because every interaction, no matter how small, is a chance to leave an impression worth remembering. Consistency is your currency. Show up with the same attitude and energy, whether the day is easy or hard. Handle emotions and setbacks with maturity because how you respond in difficult moments defines your reputation far more than how you perform in easy ones. Act as if you're always being observed because in many ways you are. Stay curious, remain approachable, and let your words reflect the kind of leader you are committed to becoming. Preparation is a form of respect for your work, your team, and yourself. Approach every task with a mindset of continuous improvement, anticipate the challenges before they arrive, and take full ownership of what you deliver, whether it's right or wrong. Your best self isn't reserved for your formal settings. It shows up everywhere. Present yourself professionally and reliably in every interaction, whether you're in the boardroom or a casual hallway conversation. Above all, practice authenticity. Be genuine in your interaction. Trust and respect are not given, they are built, one honest conversation at a time. Speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable, because integrity is the foundation of lasting influence. When you weave these practices into your daily routine, something shifts. Your presence becomes intentional, your interactions more meaningful, and your impact undeniable. And lastly, know your North Star. Let it guide every decision, every relationship, and every step forward. That clarity of purpose is what separates good leaders from unforgettable ones. And now we are ready to take your questions.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Dr. Passis, for that powerful and enlightening presentation. You have not only shared us with insights, you have expanded our possibilities. Thanks for sharing us your Wonder Woman story and the impact of one's intent and genuineness. Now, before we move into our Q&A segment, we are honored to hear a few words from our PNA president. Due to a prior commitment, he was unable to join us earlier, but we're very grateful that he is now here with us this evening. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Marlon Garza Saria.
Thank you, Ian, and Dr. Passy. Sorry for the interruption. Uh, Yeah, just a bunch of meetings, one after the other. But I'm happy to be here, and I promise I listened to your entire presentation. And then I'll be the first to say that this is really, really needed, especially for our group. I recently gave a presentation to the American Nursing Association. Maybe I should stop saying recently because it was last month. I still feel like it was just last week. Pertaining to the same topic, the bamboo ceiling, the glass ceiling, and why it's very difficult for Filipinos to move up. I just happened to look up on my screen. I see the dean who was at that conference. Uh, so I talked about some of the barriers. So you talked about how we could improve ourselves, but some of the barriers and some of the influences from others looking in to us, right? That we Filipinos are being viewed as very hardworking, very compliant, very task oriented. You see a lot of us nurses in the ED, in the ICU. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Except that we usually get passed up for promotions because we work so hard, and they see our strengths, but not on the leadership side, right? Sometimes we're perceived as less assertive, less leadership oriented. And this is what gets me the most, that they don't see executive presence in Filipinos or even Asian Americans in general. And then I told the audience that we have to work doubly hard to get noticed. When I became actively involved with PNAA, it's always a big thing to be wearing a suit every time we go to conferences. But other races don't even worry about that, right? But we need to get noticed as leaders, and so very very important for our group to be hearing this. Uh, I'm sure if you go to your hospitals, your schools, look at the pictures of the deans of your boards in the hospitals. I challenge all of you do that, and then come back to me and tell me how many Filipinos or Asians do you see on the walls, uh, and then we'll count. Whoever gets the most number will win a prize. I'll give that at the national convention. With that, I end. Really looking forward to the conversation after, and thank you very much, Dr. Pasis, for being here and being our resource speaker. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saria, for taking the time to be with us this evening. We can only imagine how busy your schedule is, and we truly appreciate your presence and support tonight. Now, we will move forward with our question and answer segment, and in the interest of time, please be ready with your short, direct, and concise questions. Please type it in the chat box or use the raise your hand feature. Now, to facilitate this discussion, may I invite our moderator, Dr. Edmond Regachuelo, a PNA Colorado board member and a P3 mentor and mentee. Dr. Regachuelo, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ayam. Thank you for being our master of ceremony. And of course, thank you for Dr. Ivy Faces for being our expert, for our topic tonight, breaking traditions on the path to healthcare executive management. Thank you, Dr. Ivy, for a very inspirational, very empowering, and a pellucid explanation on how we could break those barriers, traditional traits. All right, well, before we start with all the questions, guys, you can already post your questions in our chat box or, our chat room, and I'll be reading those. Wag mahiya, di ba? That's the first that's one of the traditional traits that we're trying to break or make it as a reframing, according to Dr. Ivy Paces, reframing those traditional traits into a cultural trait. Cultural trait. So, don't be shy. It is a safe environment. If you have any questions for our beloved speaker tonight, please put your questions in our chat box. So while we're waiting for you guys to have your questions, concerns like that, I also wanted to do shout out with Chris and Cerilia. Dr. Ivy, he said, like, I love the way the traits were interpreted as positive traditional traits. Cheryl says it's really inspiring. Jennifer says inspirational and empowering story. Thank you so much, Dr. Basis, for sharing your story to us. Or any one of you guys has a question, so you could put it in the chat, or you could simply raise your hands, and then I could, be able to acknowledge you and give you the floor.
I think Dr. Remigio raised his hand.
All
So-
right, Dr. Worley.
Hi, Dr. Passes. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Edmund. This is more of a comment because your story resonates well with me. And I love the fact that you really underscored the importance of value-driven leadership. And I know oftentimes as Filipinos, we take those values as barriers or hindrance, but a lot of those values are really strengths of a leader, and certainly as an executive, the power of humility, the gratitude, the collaboration, and I think wherever we go, that serves as our foundation, right? I think you mentioned about the relationship building. And I think in whatever role we have in any of whether it's at the bedside or the middle management or at the executive level, it all boils down to the relationship that you've built with your teams, with your allies, and with your partners. So I applaud you for showcasing those traits, those Filipino traits, as foundations of being an executive leader because they truly are. So thank you.
You're welcome, and Dr. Remigio. And I think it's really something that we all have to adapt as minorities, that our voice is no less than it's not lesser than any of our counterparts here in this country. What I've learned that the more that I spoke in the C-suite, the more that they are paying attention. So it's no longer the color of my skin. It's no longer how short I am. It's no longer that they think that I am young. Because I guess it's I'm short. But it is what I can bring to the table. And what is that strategic lens that I can bring to the table in order for me to make the organization successful. Edmund, I think we have another one. We have Dr. La
Yep.
Rosa.
We do have, Dr. La Rosa. Yeah, you could go off and mute and then get your question.
Thank you, Edmund, and thank you, Dr. Pasas. It's Jay LaRosa from San Diego and one of the national board member. My pathway to corporate leadership is very different from most experiences that others may had when it comes to our color, our nationality. The challenges that I have experience with is with our own kababayans. I have always been moved up and managed up by others, but it seemed a little different when it comes to our Filipino counterparts. Do you think that sometimes we do it to ourselves, to our own people? And one thing too is that I did my nursing here. I came after when I was I graduated high school from the Philippines. So even with that, it's different experience with the nursing education and the pathway for me. But that's what I've experienced when I was going through my leadership pathway to a corporate leadership. I'm more supported by others, but not so much I felt with my own people.
So Jay, I think we have the same path in that aspect. But one thing that I took from that experience is really providing So I got out of that notion that I'm being pulled, like the crab mentality, if that would be appropriate, right? We make that one as an assumption. But I can tell you that our assumptions are always the ones that really define what we think. We create a lot of disaster. And I'm not trying to reduce your thoughts about your perspective about that. But that remains noise around you as you are taking your path into to the C-suite. I consider that those things, those feelings, those assumptions about what others think of me as just pure noise. Because at the end of the day, it is what is important to me and what my goals are. So nobody defines what path I should take as a professional, as a person. I am the only one who can define that, and the people who has my best interest. Other than that, that's just pure noise. And I hope that really helped you. That answered your question,
Oh,
Jay.
yeah, thank you for sharing that perspective. It did not let me, I wasn't discouraged by the experience. It's just sad that that is being experienced with our own people. But like what you said, I've used that to fuel me to challenge myself more and be where I'm at now as one of a system leader with in my 5 hospital system.
Wonderful. And sometimes,
Thank you.
you have, as we move out in outside of that mentality, I think it's really important for us to provide a platform for those individuals, for them to get out of that mindset, and become a better person and a better professional that will create another platform for the rest of those in our community. So I called it the infection, right, of the field. When you're green and there's brown, you infect the brown side to become greener.
That's very true because
Kathleen,
that's my platform now. I'm becoming the voice now of the underrepresented. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, great job. Great job.
Great
Kathleen
question and
Reyes
observation.
has oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just looking at Kathleen
Yeah.
Reyes, and she's got her hand up for a while.
Kathleen.
All right, Kathleen, the floor is yours.
Hi. Hi, my name is Kathleen Reyes. I'm a new member of PNAA here in Northern California. I currently work as a registered nurse for San Francisco Department of Public Health and for Kaiser. And I'm also a startup founder. So I'm really excited to be here and join my first Zoom meeting. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Pasis, for the great presentation. I'm really inspired by how you change the framework with, all the Filipino traits that we're so used to connoting as a negative. I love how you change the framework and how you emphasize the positive side. I can tell that you hold so much grace under pressure. My question for you is, could you share a story? Because I love your stories. Could you share a story about a moment in your earlier, later career when you were challenged with one of these friction points? How did you overcome it?
Oh, so I have a lot of help. It takes a lot of it takes a village for me to change that perspective, those challenges. I have a wonderful husband who keeps me grounded, and sometimes because you're a human being, you get really affected by these challenges, and my husband gives me a better perspective of things. He's a nurse, by the way. So but my mentors are the ones that changes that. Sometimes those disasters that I've mentioned earlier in our heads, it kind of defines how we approach things. And once these mentors gives you a better perspective of things and what you should really focus on, it becomes a different world. You're no longer focused on this little thing that made you feel bad, but it makes you focus on what is really what does this mean in the whole gamut of things. So I can tell you a story. We have one individual. When I first came to the C-suite, I was told the first thing that came out of this doctor's lips were, why is she here? So after that, I spoke to my medical center director, and I said, maybe it's because I'm a woman, I'm a nurse. So this is the sea of all of these white doctors. Maybe because I'm a minority, I'm a woman, I'm a nurse, and they think that I am young, or maybe I'm just short. But what happened with that was this individual, after I delivered my report, he came back to me, and he got himself in trouble, and he said, Ivy, what can I do for you? There is a book on the art of war, making people things do what they don't like without them even knowing that they are already doing it. So what I had was, I did not sever that relationship, but I made use of that. This person owed me so much that I had him do and support the projects and the meaningful initiatives that made my facility very successful. And to this day, he is still my mentor, and he is my friend. So I hope that answered the story that you were asking for, Kathleen. But thank you for that question. We have a lot of hands up. Our business is good.
Yeah, I know. We are full
Edmund.
of people right now. But before I go to Rafael and Bien, let me call Miss Cora Munoz, because she also posted a question in our chat group, but I'm gonna give the floor to her to give or ask the question. Go ahead, Miss Cora.
Thank you so much. The reason I put my hand up is because the post I had was not being read, and so I figured I must raise my hands. Thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful, very inspirational message that you shared with us. Stories are powerful. I do want to mention that there is an ANA publication on the book about leaders, minority leaders, and their stories and journey for equity and leadership. So I would suggest that, the author is Pam Dickerson. But my question is, when you had this slide on the different values, everyone comment is wonderful. It really is the way you shared it. But I'm requesting if you could please expand on the two values that still, for me needed some explanation. And that is the Filipino time and the lack of assertiveness common in Filipino nurses, knowing that mainstream ethnocentric values are very different, not necessarily better, but different. And we have to acknowledge that in this world of leadership, very different. So we really hang on to our values, absolutely, but we have to be cognizant of the mainstream values because they can tend to conflict and lead to misunderstanding. Okay.
Yes.
So, what specific strategies can you recommend to address these values to be acknowledged as competent and intelligent nurses that we are? Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you. Thank you. So your first one is Filipino time, and what's the other one?
Is a lack of assertiveness, and I don't
Okay.
want to sound it as a deficit. It's not,
Yes.
but that's
Okay.
us.
Yeah, and I think it is part of our culture, and it takes a lot of practice for us to be assertive instead of being deemed as aggressive. So let me answer the Filipino time. So the Filipino time is, we can spin this, we're always an hour, 2 hours late. And I know that Nigerian time is, you come to the party. I was told that the party is at 6 o'clock, and then they come in at 12 midnight. So I'm not trying to say that we are better, but being on time is so important, because to me, as I always tell my staff, you don't make me feel that your time is more important than mine. So we create the professional reliability and consistency when we come on time. And working in a federal agency, most of my friends and my mentors, they are from the military, and when you come in 30 minutes ahead of the meeting, you're late. So I want to beat that. So I come in, I'm ready like an hour ahead of the meeting. I give my my deadlines. I'm ready 2 weeks ahead of time. And I have to be kind to myself because that also impacts my well-being, because I want to set that goal 2 weeks ahead of the deadline. I have everything ready, but sometimes it takes a toll on your self-care as well. So it is a balance. But you are right, ma'am. I think that as professionals, this is part of our growth to really consider what is of value for other professionals not in our community. So if they value that you come in 30 minutes or an hour ahead of the meeting, you should be there. And that's quite of a challenge because it's going to shift that kind of mindset of really, and I can tell you, me doing that, I was able to network. I was able to have those side conversations with the people who are in the meeting, and that created a lot of opportunities for me. So I hope I answered your question, ma'am. I think we can, yes.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dr. Faces and Miss Cora, for raising your question. Speaking of Filipino time, I know we have a lot of great questions and then insights, comments. Let's say we'll give the last two questions with our two gentlemen right there, Mr. Rafael and Bien. Just make your question short and concise and direct to Dr. Faces. All right, let's start with Rafael.
Hello, Dr. Basis. Thank you. Yeah, I'll make it very, very short. So I'm trying to think about your leadership style. I was impressed with different kinds of strategies. I'm thinking about transformational leadership and other leadership styles that you apply to your work. But my question is, I was caught with one idea about reframing. Why has reframing become a critical skill for leaders in facing modern healthcare uncertainty and complexity? Thank you.
Reframing it because I want to have my own identity as a leader. I don't want to lose that. I want that to be my power. I want that to be my brand. So when I come in, I can tell you, Albion, when I come to the meeting, and many of these are military who came to the Philippines, and it is a it's a spectacle, that relationship, and a lot of people see that it goes beyond that relationship, that kind of approach, that kind of interaction. It is because of the way that I reframe the values that I have, my true identity as a Filipino, my being warm. So that's one. Another thing is the hiya that I have. It comes out as very respectful, and sometimes for people who are not too respectful, that can be annoyingly disrespectful for them because I'm respectful, and that is okay. So those types of things, when I reframe those, and pakikisama, it is setting yourself in, if it is not going to harm, if it's not illegal, and if it doesn't go against the goals of the organization, it is okay. Pakikisama is about relationship building. It doesn't have to be that you're right all the time. Sometimes you can just let it go. Part of diplomacy.
Did that answer your question, Dr. Rafael?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, now we'll give the last question to Mr. I don't know what it went.
Bien
Oh, there you go. Mr. Bien, go ahead, sir.
All right. Do I still have time? I don't want to take everybody's. Do I still have time to ask the question?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
go ahead. You will be the
Thank you.
last person
All right.
that will
Thank
be
you for
before to
taking
ask.
my question. My name is Bien Tabuso. I'm from Connecticut. I'm a newer nursing director in this ADN program. And I've been lucky because there's so many support that I got both from different sides, Filipino side and locals. My question is, when you see talent either they are Filipinos or non-Filipinos. How do you develop them? How do you support them? What kind of strategy do you use in order for them to grow?
So, Bien, you're really asking what I'm doing. This is really the work that I am doing. So, transforming the culture of the organization is empowering also your talent and non-talents. How are you going to bring them into the fold of the cultural transformation? So when I see talent, I am not the one who says you have to do this. I would like to present them the opportunity. And this is also true for other Filipinos. I can tell you that there are a lot of Filipinos who would like to do the work that I do, but I think they don't have the how do I say this? They have the ability, but maybe they need to have more time in preparing themselves in taking on the responsibilities that I have. So you have to give them time. And you have to make sure that they have the tools that they need in order for them to lead. So, for example, we see a lot of managers, right? They are there to, check the box. But if you want a leader, you want to make sure that they can lead projects. So that is part of continuous improvement for the organization. You have to be able to provide them trainings, for example, for Lean Six Sigma. How are they going to look at those defects and the waste? So, in order for them to determine those and the gaps of the organization, when they look at the scorecard of the organization, you have to be able to give them training in order for them to have an understanding of what are really those efforts in the front line that can align with the goals of the organization. So, you see talent every day, but how you're going to place them in certain areas of the organization where you can get the best bang for your buck is something that is strategic. And you have to have that practice, and you have to have also the guidance of your mentors who's going to say, oh, you know what? At this time, they can stay right here until they are developed, but we will give them more platform as they mature in that level right there. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, and by the way, if you would like to connect with me, I will be more than happy to have a conversation with you. This is really where I am right now in the work that I'm doing at the VA. And by the way, Edmund, I know we are late, but there was one question from Didine Andrada. If you would like to unmute, Didine, you have a question?
Hi, Ivy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So we've been I think it's been 26 years when you first met each other. And I truly am proud of what you've become. And you really have paved the way for so many Filipino nurses like me. We started way back when you were in Baby. I remained at Hopkins. I think one questions I think that I have based on your presentation that was it really moving? I think I could say this for sure that moving to different organizations somehow paved the way for nurse leaders like us to shine in any way possible for all the attributes that we could contribute to the organization or even in our community as well. I know what all of us recognizes our uniqueness. I don't usually would like to look at as a barriers, but our uniqueness, but our cultural, but these are not actually our own limitations, but they are actually our attributes, our potentials, because we have so much to give to the table. So in your experience, you did actually as an example of that. You brought into that a wealth of information, wealth of background, and wealth of knowledge that you move from one organization in now where you are, that you truly shine. And thank you so much, Dr. Passes, for doing that.
So to answer your question, my departure from the bedside was nothing but unplanned. So these are people who really saw my potential beyond what I know about me. I know I can do the work. I know I can, whatever you give, what kind of responsibility you give me, I can do that. I can deliver results. But I think what's so pivotal about that are the sponsors that I have. And I forget your name, but I think it was Jay. It was not in our community that I got that sponsorship. It came from my my mentors. They were the ones who fished me out from the bed from the front lines and said, I want you to lead this. I want you to give us a direction. If you saw the last slide that I have, it was a real thing. I was given a yellow paper and they said, give us direction where we need to go. And I built much of the foundation of the cultural transformation of this 14,000 employees in 3 states, in 8 of our sites, and became a blueprint for the whole VA because I was given the ability, I was given the platform to stretch out my strategic approach, my uniqueness, my warmth, because in this type of job, relationship building is so important. The people that you meet going up are the ones that you're going to meet going down. And these individuals has given me a lot of opportunity. And whenever there is this big thing that's happening at the VA, they have always identified me to be part of it. And I'm always grateful. And part of me being Filipino is being grateful as well. So the transformation of my profession from the bedside, it didn't follow with just, changing the organization where I worked in. It followed with the transformation of who I am surrounded with. Who are those individuals who surrounded me and allowed me to stretch out my wings and grow? Some of them are very painful and really uncomfortable. But I always say they have a better plan and they know more than me. So I'm okay. So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to do what I can, the best that I can, in order for me to deliver the intended results for the organization. And I just did that. So I hope I answered your question, Didi, and I know we can connect. If you would like, we can connect and we can talk some more. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for great questions. And thank you, Dr. Paces, for answering, giving us the inspiration. It's really impactful, this webinar that we just had tonight. And those 3 questions, we will be sending those 3 questions from Cheryl Buscar, Nisil Arana, and John Ian Lamasan to Dr. Paces to, to give her insights. But thank you very much, everybody, for participating. It was a wonderful night. I'm giving back the floor to Mr. Ayam Pagan for our for continuation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Spaces and Rigachuelo. Wow, what a great exchange with our audience. And learning and even mentorship is most meaningful when dialogue like this happens. And tonight, we certainly experienced that. Now, to add a little excitement to our evening, we will proceed with our raffle segment. Please welcome our PNAA Interim Communications and Marketing Chair from PNAA Tennessee, Angelo Bosque. Angelo? So, what do we have for prices, Angelo?
We have 2 gift cards, $25 each.
2 gift cards, $25 each. All right, let's draw our first raffle winner.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Is this our first winner?
Yeah. Yes, that's our first winner.
All right, congratulations, Mary Grace. Make sure to send us, by the way, your contact information in the chat. Send us your cell phone number. And we do have, congratulations, Florence Sue. $25 Amazon gift card. All right. Thank you, Angelo. And again, congratulations to our raffle winners. As we approach the end of tonight's meaningful program, we are honored to hear... Oh, yes, Dr. Sager.
Yes, there are a couple more Amazon gift cards for the
wow.
mentors and mentees who completed the survey, as of today.
Gotcha. So we'll do another set of raffle then, Angelo.
These are the last 4 of their telephone numbers.
All right. So if the last 4 digits of your telephone number is 4061, please make sure to message us here in the chat. Congratulations. Another winner. Number that ends with 6714. Congratulations for another Amazon gift card.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Dr. Sager. Okay, so again, as we approach tonight's end for this program, we're honored to hear a closing reflection from one of our PNAA past presidents. Currently, he serves as the PNAA's parliamentarian. And please help me in welcoming Dr. Leo Felix Jurado. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful evening. I'm so energized listening to all this next gen group from EM to Edmund to Jam and Angelo. And obviously, we are gifted with the powerful presentation of Dr. Ivy Passes. You are great find, Ivy. I know that we met you at your induction to the academy, and now you are in our fold, and we're so glad that you are with us at this point. So thank you for telling your story, sharing your story. It's very, very powerful. So as we come to a close, I want to bring us back to where we began, our culture, our values, and our leadership journey that Dr. Passes have shared to us. For many of us, the very traits we were taught growing up, like the cultural values that were shared, the hiya, the pakikisama, or bayanihan, were sometimes seen as limitations in spaces of power. We were told in subtle and not so subtle ways to speak differently, to act differently, to lead differently. But today, or this evening, I hope that you saw it so clearly that our cultural values are not barriers. They are leadership assets. They are the reason we build trust. They are the reason we create strong, loyal teams. They are the reason we lead with empathy, integrity, and purpose. The challenge has always been how systems were designed and whether they recognize the value we already bring. And that is why breaking the glass ceiling and the bamboo ceiling, so to speak, is not just about getting a seat at the table. It is about changing how leadership is seen, expressed, and advanced. We do not break ceilings by abandoning our identity as Filipinos. We break them by owning our voice, making our impact visible, aligning our values with our strategic action, like Dr. Passes mentioned, and by ensuring that when opportunities arise, we're not only ready, but recognize. So I leave you with this. You do not need to become someone else to lead. Lead with intention, lead with visibility, lead with courage, and most importantly, lead in a way that honors both where you come from and where you are called to go. Because when we do that, we are not just advancing ourselves, we are widening the path for those who will come after us. And that is how we break ceilings together. Great evening, everyone. And it's a wonderful webinar, part one, for our mentor-mentee relationship. And I hope that each one of us are connecting with each other and affirming our commitment with this partnership together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jurado, for that equally wonderful closing reflections. To our mentors, mentees, leaders, organizers, and participants, you guys, thank you for your presence, your belief in mentorship, and your commitment for advancing Filipino American leadership. Now, before we end our Zoom, probably we could do a group photo.
Yes.
So I do invite everyone, please turn on your cameras. Let's take a group photo. We will do 2 screenshots. All right. Thank you for turning on your cameras. Let's recognize the collective effort tonight with another virtual round of applause for everyone. All right. Photos are already almost there. Okay, let's take 2 screenshots. All right. And this will be the first take. Smile.
Smile.
All right. And how about another one? Okay. Second shot for the second set. Smile. There you go. Thank you for turning on your cameras and participating. It's been my honor to serve as your master of ceremony tonight. This is I am Palgan with sincere gratitude for PNAA P3 committee for this opportunity to be part of tonight's inspiring gathering. Again, thank you to everyone who joined us from across the country. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, everyone, and mabuhay.
Good night. Great job, I am.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Stay
night, everybody.
safe.